What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Wax Packs and Warning Tracks, Mojobreak's baseball card podcast. We're making our debut in the brand new Mojobreak Studios. I know it's been a minute. We've been on a little bit on a hiatus. It's Cody, it's Bubba here. How do you like the new digs?
This is pretty sweet.
This is nice.
I have like Larry Legend behind me.
Yeah. You got
Acuna.
You got Acuna right there.
Oh, we have Steve Kerr. You can't see Steve Kerr, but Steve Kerr's up here.
Steve Kerr's above the Mojobreak media sign. We can't because if you did, you'd see, the innards of the studio. But trust us, if you're here at the Mojobreak shop in Santa Clara, you get a full peek at everything. It's cool that we kind of just get to look out and see everybody. So still getting used to the new stuff. I'm loving it. It's awesome. And we'll be recording here for baseball season, which is fully
now.
It's now. It feels good. Spring training. It's happening.
Let's go.
It's early spring training, and we're going to talk about why, because the World Baseball Classic is coming up very, very soon. We're about a week away from WBC games. In fact, I think we're exactly a week away from the first WBC game. So we're going to talk about guys that you should look at to invest in if you are going to be following the WBC. There's a lot of interesting prospects. Obviously, international, always interesting. There's always a couple of guys that we don't really know about that in about a year or two are going to be international free agents. So those are guys that are worth talking about. But before we get into that, it was a huge month of February for new releases. Let's see, Series 1. We got Gilded. We had Museum Collection.
Pristine.
We had Pristine. I think we've still got a couple more on deck. Maybe one or two more. I'm not sure. But it was a really, really loaded month of new releases. And, Bubba, you ripped all of it. Just your standouts for the month of February as we're really getting into full swing with baseball. I know Gilded is like a personal favorite of yours.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk Gilded. I want to give a quick shout out to Series 1. I felt, pound for pound, one of the better, whatever that means to you at home, one of the better Series 1 releases, flagship releases in recent memory.
I agree.
It just seemed to have a little bit of everything. Now, the box cost rose a little bit. We had the thing with jumbos where now we were down a hit. I found that many of the jumbo boxes did have a third hit either way. It kind of felt to me it was like they couldn't guarantee 3 hits. They just had just short of 3 hits per box.
Yeah.
So they put 2, but a lot of boxes ended up with 3 either way. The short prints are great. The golden mirrors are fantastic. It's flagship. It's beautiful. It kicks off the season. That was kind of like the big kickoff to the baseball season. Right after the Super Bowl, you get Series 1. Boom. All right. Gilded. Good Lord. Where do I start? The Topps Chrome design for Gilded this year with the gold etch, and it's fantastic. I love the condensed checklist. They do that every year for Gilded. Like, you're not going to have a Tristan McKenzie Gilded base, but we had a Babe Ruth base, which was cool.
That Babe was really, really cool. The Babe Ruth base was, and the design looked great. Somebody in shop got the statuesque SSP.
Of who?
Of Clemente.
Wow, that maybe the best one you could get. I mean,
probably one of the best. Yeah, I think so. I think that, when it comes to the iconic statues, that's the one they were parading the most for sure. Also, I must have read the checklist wrong, or I read it right and I just didn't realize how big the card was, because this customer buys a full case, rips it all in shop. The other cards are just fine, but he got that one. My understanding was that was like one of only 5 in existence. Maybe I was wrong on that. Maybe it's just a super short print, and then there's a gold version maybe that I think
one of one. Yeah.
That's I think what I'm thinking of. So the gold version is there's a one of one of each of those. So you didn't get that as a black card. It still looked incredible. Looked really, really cool. So still a huge hit.
Yeah, I don't know the odds on it. I think maybe in like the 200,000 pack range.
Wow.
You might be right that there are like only 6 per player kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's still like very, very few.
I remember looking it up, like, because I was going through like team checklists and being like, oh, like we still have some statuesque teams, and then I remember looking at the odds and thinking there are probably other selling points for this product.
You would think, yeah. I mean, there definitely are. There's still
beautiful, man.
Right.
The gold frames are sick. One thing I really like too this year, and maybe it just comes down to not the largest of sample sizes, but In past years, getting those World Series framed autos seemed tougher. That's the white background, kind of like the white textile, for lack of a better term.
Right.
And then this year, I felt like in a 4-box case, maybe like at least one, sometimes two of the boxes out of the case had a World Series auto, which is sweet because they went back in time. I mean, 80s, 90s World Series. There may have even been a 70s World Series champ. There may have been a Reds auto, big red machine. Ooh. And they have the classic World Series logo on there, which is sweet.
Johnny Bench, or
it may have been Bench.
Yeah, I was going to say there's not that would be probably the most notable living player from the big red machine at this point.
Yeah, and which is sweet because that checklist to be coming up as much as we saw it, it's a huge list with all those Dodgers 25, well, I guess it's 25 products. So 2024 World Series champ autos. Right. The hit rates were sick. It's a beautiful product. It's gilded. So year over year, it's going to have the same vibe. The Topps Chrome design this year, which is the 2025 design, just nailed it.
Yeah, looks great. It's becoming a fast favorite, and I think some of the value adds with like the statuesques, huge value add. Back to Series 1 real quick. Mm-hmm. Once again, something that happened if you followed I think it was either Chrome Basketball. I think it was Chrome Basketball. The retail hanger packs. People were going on forums, posting them up like, hey, these retail hanger packs are sneaky good at like $18 a pop.
Yeah.
And people were pulling really good hits out of it. Like, buy 2 of these rather than buying a blaster or buying a maker or whatever. We put it to the test. We actually did all right on the retails. Not like it wasn't, it's not always going to hit. But apparently same thing was true with these Series 1 hangers. And we had them in shop, sold out instantly.
Like odds defying?
Yeah, hits? Apparently. Like people just being like, I would rather buy 3 or 4 hangers than get a blaster. I'm going to have better odds. I think it's just showing that the results are better. If you're out there and you can attest to this, because again, we had them here. I can tell you the retail hanger packs were gone fast. Again, the price point's unbeatable, but also it seemed like the results were pretty good too.
Now, is that the fat pack or is it the boxed up pack?
The boxed up.
Okay.
The boxed up one.
Yeah.
So something to that as well. But even just like the fact that there's like real longevity for if you just like to hold boxes, because there's always going to be those buybacks in there of classic vintage cars, which is my favorite ad, I think, of the whole thing. Just the fact that I saw like people pulling like, oh, they got a redemption for a 60s Bob Gibson.
Yeah.
There's Willie Mays, and there's obviously the 52 Mantle. So a lot of really cool value adds for a product that, again, a little bit of a price jump, but still a very affordable, easy entry product.
Yeah, for the price jump, I mean, if you have everyone's heard hangers or bangers. I mean, it's like one person one time had a good hanger in a car rip and was like, hangers or bangers were a thing. Yeah, I mean, some products are more known for that than others. Love to see Series 1 this year. Just adds to the value added. The price jump, yeah. I mean, like, welcome to 2026.
That's the thing.
Also, it's the 75th year anniversary. There are some chases in there that have never been a chase in any Topps product. I mean, there's never been a modern Topps product that has those Mantles, those Mays, right?
Nothing.
Like there was one Mantle auto in an Archive Signature Series, retired player edition, but it comes stamped.
Right.
I'd like to imagine that the redemptions for like the original Cardinal stamp.
Anytime there is some sort of Mantle chase, it is like a huge story. There was that Ohtani MVP box that came out a couple years ago that had the Mantle duel, the cut Mantle. Again, huge chase. So yeah, the fact that is thrown into Series 1 is awesome. We were opening a box the day, I'll tell to give you a little behind the scenes, because we were recording our box opening and not knowing that was one of the chases when we opened the box. And I just thought, God, if we had just pulled that card in the middle of our box break, I wouldn't have known. I would have just been like, that's weird. That's kind of cool. Mantle reprint. Great. Fine. Whatever. Not thought anything of it. I know it's not live, but it would have been funny. So
that'd been great.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a great month for baseball.
How about you? Favorite this month?
I mean, I Gilded, not to sound like a repeat, but
It's in a class of its own.
It is in a class of its own. And I understand, there's a big price point jump there, but like, I do like it. Pristine was pretty good, actually. We kind of glossed over Pristine. A lot of really nice hits. I just never have been a huge fan of the setup of that product. And it is what it is. It's not changing.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
I love the product. I like ripping it as a breaker. It's fun.
Right.
I like talking about it for a day, a week, however long we're ripping it. It makes no sense.
No. Do you look? There's enough. We see it. There's enough trash that you get opening a bunch of boxes and packs. Why are we adding extra? Like, why? And especially in a world where Topps and all of these producers of cards are like kind of making efforts to be like, oh yes, we're reducing the amount of packaging and blah blah blah. This is a product that's like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
What if we added 2 more insert box? What if we added extra packs? What if we added just an extra layer? Like it in a way, I almost appreciate it just for being so stubborn, but it is just weird.
Yeah, they could do away with the extra packaging and if in Pristine, and if they just didn't want to reduce their packaging,
right?
In general, like in total, bring back 36 packs to Series 1 hobby boxes, please.
There you go. Yeah. Why not?
Please.
Yeah. If we're going to be doing
we're
that.
We're down to like 20 now.
If we're going to do that, just do that instead.
Yeah.
Whatever. So anyway, but there's some great looking cards out of Pristine. So respect.
It was an action packed like 2 weeks.
This is something that
which has its own controversies.
Right.
And,
at the beginning of the month, on the hype here, we had Gio and Jesse from Sports Cars Nonsense, and Mike made a great point, and it did gain a little bit of traction. I think I even saw this one of the CEO over at or right at the top of the food chain there at Fanatics, Mike Mahan liked the video, in which I went, that's an interesting development, where he specifically cites this is too much stuff at once of the same thing, and they need to listen to buyers and collectors.
Do you know what happened within 48 hours of that podcast airing?
Mm-mm.
Gilded was pushed back 1 week.
Look at that.
And so Pristine was the only high-end release for the week.
Look, I'm not saying they are. Look, that just showed me they're listening. I mean, literally, we got the like. Yeah. Hi, Mike. How you doing? Hi, Michael. Hi, Mike. How you guys doing?
You don't like any of my videos, dude.
Look, that was an interesting development, I gotta say. So
it was and it just was a lot. It was the right call. It was a lot.
It was. It was a lot at once. And I think too, and again, I understand the point of like, yeah, when you have it made, when it's all made, like, why sit on it? Like, get it out of there.
Yeah.
Move on to the next thing. I get that.
Yeah, but, and it's nice too because all of since the card boom, the latest card boom, about 5 years ago or so, I feel like these big card manufacturers and big card companies have really made an effort to engage the masses in the hobby. We have the Rip Nights going on. We have Fanatics Fest and all these different conventions and yada yada promotions. So it did seem kind of like going against the grain, dropping all these huge high end. You alienate a lot of your middle tier to low end buyers, because I gotta imagine there has to be a version of Topps. I don't know, like wanting someone to stretch themselves a little bit. To I usually just buy the blasters or the megas. This year I'm going to buy a hobby. Or I usually just buy the hobbies. This year I'm going to buy a jumbo. Or this year I just buy one box. I'm going to buy a case. So like, I think Fanatics and Topps, they want the evolution of the buyer, just like they're having the evolution of their products. Any way you slice it, that was too much in 1 week. So they figured it out.
Yeah.
And I think the February release, how it ended up going, worked out.
Yeah.
And I don't think buyers felt overly inundated
I think
as it all played out.
I think there was a little bit of like, they had Museum Collection and Pristine like almost back-to-back weeks, which that feels like you're kind of grouping in, like the same people are going to buy those are going to buy, who's ever going to buy Museum Collection. It's the same sort of, it's in the same tier is what I'm trying to say.
A lot of the cards kind of look the same too.
Right. Right. They did. So look, yeah, I think spread it out a little more. Obviously don't have these huge gulfs of nothing, which that's the
Was
other
that
effects.
was that January kind of?
That was kind of January.
Yeah.
It would have been maybe sprinkle in one of those in January. Maybe sprinkle in Museum Collection to kind of get us like back into like, okay, we're almost there. We're almost at baseball season. We're getting ready. That would have been nice, but hey, whatever. We'll see. Maybe we start to see the release calendar. You know what? I got it up right now. I got the March release calendar in front of me, and I'm looking right now. We've got for baseball, we have Bowman's Best on the 11th. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have, oh man, you know what? It goes a little quiet for a minute here.
Well, good thing we got like 8 baseball releases in February.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's I mean, right now, obviously schedules will change, but that is, as far as I can see, and again, please correct me in the comments, as far as I can see, that is the only major baseball release from Topps in the month of March is Bowman's Best.
Sweet.
Cool. I mean, look,
I love that product.
I love Bowman's Best.
I love that 4 autos.
It's a super fun rip.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you want to talk for the bang for your buck, few are better. Shout out to Leaf Pop Century coming in March, which is also one of my absolute favorite rips. Not a baseball product at all.
My first ever stream was Pop Century.
Was it really?
Star Wars Chrome when they were like $99 a box.
Oh, wow.
And Panini Black Football.
Nice.
We were all over the place, but it was sweet.
That's how it was. It would be like my first one was Goodwin Champs.
Awesome.
Which is truly, I always say it, the most like thrown into the fire because a lot of base, impossible packs to open. I think they're better now. At the time, those were hard to open.
Yep.
And then it was like any Panini Topps product was a breeze.
They started did the perforation at the top of the pack.
I would just do that. I think they purposely made me do that to be like, let's see if he can handle this, he can do anything. It's all right. If you can, anyway, let's move on to the World Baseball Classic.
Yes.
It's coming up just about a week away. I love World Baseball Classic. This is the 20th year of World Baseball Classic baseball. Can you believe that?
Wow.
20 years ago.
Wow. I have a shirt 2006.
I do too. You know what I have? A Randy Wynn Team USA jersey.
Wow.
Because there was no other Giant on Team USA, but Randy Wynn was there. So I had to get it.
Shortstop.
Yep.
Or where do you play?
He was a right fielder.
Okay.
Right fielder. Although he could play short because there was a game where I think he played third. And anyway, I was at that game. It was a fun game.
Didn't he play short?
I don't know if he ever played short in the major leagues. I would have to look it up. You know what? Let's look it up. I look up Randy Wynn's baseball reference page far too much. So it just came right up. Never played, does not appear to have ever played short.
Oh, gosh.
In the major leagues. Let's take a look. Outfield, center field, right? Yep. Third base, one game, and I was there.
Who's the shortstop that era for? That's not
Vizquel.
Omar Vizquel.
Who I think I also had a Vizquel. I had an Andrew Jones Netherlands jersey because it was orange and black, and I thought he was cool, and I thought it was cool, and I was at the semifinals for that year.
Dang.
When my dad took me for my 16th birthday, so that was fun.
Sweet 16.
Yeah, it was a sweet 16. We literally flew down and watched Dominican Republic, Cuba, Japan, Korea. It was fun.
Wow.
It's a good time.
Wow.
Yeah.
11-year-old Shohei. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Ichiro was in his prime. Man, it was fun. That's what locked me in forever. I'm like, you get the right guys here, and especially because DR was like stacked with Pujols and Cano and all these superstar guys.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what locked it in. And now I think finally, Team USA, I think since they won in 2017, has finally, that's when it locked in of like, okay, this tournament means something. Like it's not just like it means something to everybody else. And I think the first couple of times there were a lot of players who didn't play who went, I'm not going to risk it all for like some preseason tournament that means nothing.
Yep.
17 is when it locked in where it's like, no, this is important. This year's team, even more so, of just a bunch of dudes with a capital D dudes in that rotation specifically.
Yeah.
It's cool to see the players really, really embrace this tournament. They have. But this year especially just feels like it's on another level.
Yeah, there's so many MVPs and Cy Young Award winners this year. Another cool thing about this year is with the World Baseball Classic being every 3 years, correct?
Yeah, I think after this year, because they had the COVID year where it was supposed to be in 2021, and then they pushed it to 23.
Right.
So now I think it's going to go back to every 4.
Okay.
So I think we're going to go back to 2030 will be the next one.
Cool. Because I was going to say, how cool is it with the Olympics being on a 4-year schedule,
right,
and WBC being on a 3-year schedule that they lined up this year?
It is cool.
Pretty perfect. And that'll be great if they're all and World Cup.
And World Cup.
And another Dodgers World Series. And it's crazy that
Slow down.
Yeah, I'll slow down because that could not age well.
It's probably going to age just fine. Let's be completely honest.
Wood tables in here. We're knocking on all of them. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to that every 4 years, having just a huge country sports multi-month event. I mean, it's like you get over the Olympics and it's like, all right, let's put our baseball caps on.
Yeah.
Let's go cheer on the USA.
But we can still keep that Team USA hat on, which is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then baseball season. All right, let's go do some Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh, Olympics are over. All right, let's go do some October baseball.
Not bad. Not bad. By the way, they have not confirmed 2030, but I remember hearing that was the plan. So we'll see. It could change. Don't forget, too, before we get into some breakouts here, 2028, it hasn't been confirmed, but it's trending towards Summer Olympics, where you will have it similar to what we just saw with hockey, where the All-Star break will be extended and MLB players will be allowed to compete. That would be huge.
Yeah.
It's going to be a much quicker tournament. I think literally a 1-week, 6-team round robin tournament. Really fast, but that'll be cool.
Double headers.
I don't know. I think it's literally just every single day there's a game.
Just every day. Yeah, you play every day.
Just play every day, and then the last day is the finals and the bronze medal game, depending on record.
Probably all in one location.
At
the Olympics.
And if
which is Southern California.
It would probably be a Dodger Stadium. You probably go Dodger Stadium and Angels.
Yeah.
Would be your 2 locations. Although, sorry to the Angels, I think the Olympic Committee would be like, we can go to Petco Park. That would be killer.
Dude.
Dodger Stadium, Petco Park for the 2 locations, and then have the final.
I love Petco.
Have the bronze medal at Petco and have the final at Dodgers. Actually, you probably have the bronze medal at Dodger Stadium. You just do a doubleheader.
Yeah. You could. Oh, I love Petco.
Petco's the best. It rules.
That's about as kind as I'll be to the podcast.
Yeah.
I love Petco.
That's something that Giants and Dodgers fans and Padres fans can all agree on. Petco Park, A+. It's great. Oracle Park, A++, but regardless.
I agree, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are you looking forward to breaking out, making a name for themselves?
So a couple guys, I am excited that there's always a few prospects. But the fact that we've got Travis Bazzana for Team Australia playing, it's really cool because obviously you get spring training and you get these guys showcasing in front of major league talent. But this is like that. Then you're also like in an international, tournament style. Like there's high stakes, and for him, because I want to say Team Australia. I have to look at the pool, but Team Australia will be competing in the. Let me double check which pool they're going to be competing. I want to say they're going to be in Japan.
Is that C?
Yes, Pool C. So they're going to be in Japan for the tournament. So it's like on top of everything else, you're going to be going against Team Japan, huge. Go get them. South Korea, who should be improved, they've been one of the most disappointing teams ever since they had a great run. I mean, the first tournament they went to the semifinals. Second tournament they were there in the finals, and they really haven't done anything else, despite the fact that they always have consistently one of the best, most talented teams. They should be better. But yeah, I think just Bazzana getting some at bats against fantastic pitching, some really, really good competition, and doing it in Japan in a really cool environment. I would love to see what he can do. It's a short sample. It's going to be a very small sample size. I can't imagine Australia is going to be making it out very far, but I'll be really excited, and I think a lot of people are going to be, if he can perform even pretty decently, I think a lot of people are going to be very excited about his prospects heading into this year.
That's sweet. Yeah, that's a great shout. I agree fully. I've been looking at that Team Italia.
Yeah.
They are pretty cool. They're pretty cool looking on paper here. Jack Cagg's going to be playing in his home team jersey blue there. It's just everything's going to be looking good. One thing that I like about WBC is that you get playoff atmosphere before you even get really like good spring training ball.
Yep.
So it's a really nice preview, at least to just atmosphere. And you almost can't tell, you can in some respects, but you almost can't tell that it's like baseball being played in March.
Right.
It really does seem like very high level baseball. And I think Jack Caggs is going to have a huge 2026. I think it starts here with the WBC. A little less pressure, maybe a little less eyes on him. Mm-hmm. He can kind of be the guy in that lineup. He's not, having to like cede to Bobby Witt or a Salvi Perez. He is the guy. And I'm even gonna throw out numbers because I've really been thinking about this one. I think Caggs hit 6 homers in the WBC.
Cool. Oh my God.
6. I think that he has 2 multi-homer games. And I don't know. Give me like, if you throw that on Kalshi, like, give me like buy me lunch or something. I'm in a little hyperbole, excuse me, but
yeah,
I just think that he got so much hype. And he wasn't like the number one guy right away out of that Bowman draft release not too long ago. And then it kind of quickly after a week or two turned into him being the top guy. He's been all over the hobby in terms of breaking cards, being on different channels.
Yep.
And
he was at Topps Rip Night.
Yep. So I'm being like a hobbyist, homer, feel-good story. Jack Cagg says, all right, maybe I didn't do everything you wanted me to do last year in my short stint with the Royals, but here's what I got. I had an off season of strength training, a little less pressure on me, and I'm going to go show out for my countrymen.
I'm looking at this Team Italy roster.
It's sick.
I'm not mad at this roster. You got Aaron Nola in there. You got Michael Lorenzen in the rotation. You got Kyle Teal behind the plate. Vinny Pasquantino there. Thomas Sagis is there. There's guys here. There are some dudes on this roster. John Birdie, he's got wheels.
Birdie's great.
Dominic Canzone, he's a solid ball player. Jack Caggs.
That team can find a way to beat you if they stay in the game. If their pitching keeps them in the game, they can find ways to win.
That's Pool B in Houston, by the way. There's always a team, I feel like, in the USA's pool who is kind of like is always a little bit of a shocker. Like, I feel like
true threat.
Yeah, I feel like a couple of years ago, Team Columbia was the one that like they did beat them, but they just could not like swat them away. Obviously, you got Team Mexico in there. USA Mexico's always a blast, always super fun. The environment's crazy, but Italy's gonna put up a fight. Great Britain's got some extra talent for there too now.
Better uniforms this year.
Better uniforms.
Kind of.
They expanded the font just a little bit. They went into Photoshop and went, oh, wait, oops. Sorry. I sent you the rough draft. And they just went with it. I like that. I like that pick. A couple of other guys who popped up. Owen Casey's going to be on Team Canada.
Yeah.
I like Team Canada a lot. I'm bummed Freddie Freeman's not there.
I know.
I think if Freddie is there, that's the best roster they've ever assembled. Honestly.
Yeah.
Pitching, maybe. I mean, they got Jameson Taillon, Michael Soroka to be the top of that rotation, which, that's not bad, but I think they've had better pitching in the past. But like Bo Naylor behind the plate, Julian, Abraham Toro, Josh Naylor's there, and you've got Casey in the outfield with Tyler O'Neill and Denzel Clark. Like, if you put Freddie Freeman at first base in that lineup, I feel like that's like people would be scared, be like, that's a decent lineup right there.
Another team that can find ways to beat you. Speed, incredible defense. They need to be able to pitch. I mean, that's going to be the story for the entire.
All of them.
The USA is going to have to pitch. How about pass Scooball? Hear about that?
Yeah, the Scooball news is a bummer. And I get it. Because of the way this tournament is, the only way they can fit this in is doing it during spring training. Scooball, if you hadn't heard, basically announced that he's only going to pitch one game against Great Britain in the first round, and that's it. No more. They have enough pitching depth that they should be okay, but it is kind of a bummer. I would almost want it to be like, can't you like maybe join the team later?
The last game, yeah.
Right. Maybe like stay. I don't know. There's probably rules where that can't be the case. He has to like pitch a certain amount, and then they can't just be like, oh, by the way, he's ready, and it's the final.
Right.
You know, which would have been awesome. But look, they've got Joe Ryan, Logan Webb, Nolan McLean, Paul Skeens. Like they're going to be okay.
Clayton Kershaw.
Clayton Kershaw's there. He is there. He is there. I don't know if I'm putting him on a high stakes spot, but anyway. But I do like Owen Casey for Team Canada. Back to him real quick because big trade, obviously, going to the Marlins for Eddie Cabrera, and he's going to get a chance to start on that team. This is basically his first look, I think, for a lot of fans who, are non-Cubs fans to get a look at what he's got and why there's so much hype around him, why he was the focal point of that trade. I'll be very excited to see what they can do in a pool that I think it's a competitive one, but I'm looking at it. Puerto Rico, Panama, Cuba, Canada, Colombia, they should make it out of that. I think they should.
Yeah, Puerto Rico and Canada.
Puerto Rico's a lot weaker this year, and it sucks because of the whole insurance stuff. They just got hit like disproportionately.
Yeah.
Because it was like Baez, Correa, Lindor, all were like, no, you're not playing.
Yeah.
Which was a bummer. Because other than that, I mean, Cuba's always competitive. Canada should be coming out of that. And so if you can get some big games for Owen Casey, that's another guy I think I would take a hard look at for his cards.
That's a great shout. Yeah, I want to shout out to Bobby Witt Jr. This will be his first World Baseball Classic as like the guy. He was behind Trey Turner. I think he only had 2 at-bats in the last World Baseball Classic.
Right.
One was an RBI single. And I also want to shout out Will Smith. Have to. He's going to be playing behind Big Dumper. I think Will Smith has one of the bigger hits of the tournament this year.
There you go. And the way catcher works is like, yes, Cal Raleigh is the starter, but like they're going to go back and forth. They're co-starters.
Yeah, it's March. They're not going to catch 9 innings back to back, Yeah.
No, yeah. They essentially make them like co-starters. Because I remember being at the final in 2017 and I was so bummed that Posey wasn't starting.
Yeah.
It was, I think it was, who was it?
2017.
Jonathan Lucroy.
Love it.
Jonathan Lucroy was the starter. And I'm like, really? Why isn't he I'm sorry. No disrespect to Jonathan Lucroy. Great MLB career. You should have flipped that around. Lucroy should have been semifinals. Posey's the final, but I get it. Whatever.
Shout out B-Craw. Always a Team USA guy.
He was a Team USA guy.
Yeah.
That 2017 roster with B-Craw, Posey, brought it home. It was amazing.
That was an incredible roster.
Just another like, hey, if anyone has doubts about Buster Posey's Hall of Fame credentials, which I don't know if there's really anyone out there anymore, the fact that I truly put that on the plaque. I'm going to say it right now. That might be a controversial statement. Put it on the plaque. Anybody who was part of that, anyone who's part of a World Baseball Classic winning roster. I don't know if it's on Ichiro's plaque. It should be. Put it on there.
It should be, and I would think the player would want it on there. I mean, the only reason you probably sign up to play at all is because you want to and you want to win.
Right.
So,
yeah, it should say, 1 time or like 2-time WBC champion.
2-time.
Yeah, exactly. I think Ichiro would be qualified for that. So, yeah, Team USA roster is just ridiculous.
We had for the Olympics we had Kurt Russell doing that intro for the hockey game. Can we get like David Wright to do some intro
David Wright!
Captain America.
Captain America. Oh, man. That would rule. What a throw. Man,
that'd be
David
sick.
Wright.
Those were awesome teams.
Probably one of my favorite non-giant guys for sure. It still breaks my heart that his career went the way it did at the end. But it's cool. You know what? He got a little Hall of Fame bump this year.
Yeah.
He got a little
Was
love.
he in like the low 30s?
It went up. It went up this year.
Don't quote me on numbers, but he did. Yeah, he kind of like surpassed the threshold.
Yeah,
it was like, okay.
Where now you have to start to have the conversation of like, is he gonna have a shot here? I don't think he will.
With how tough it was for Andrew Jones to get in, I don't see David Wright getting in.
No, I don't either.
But everyone on that ballot that got votes has a case.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Roman Anthony, by the way, a replacement for Team USA.
Oh, it's so cool.
Wow, very cool. That's just, and he's the 4th outfielder on the team. which is, because it's going to be Buxton.
Dude, he's going to play.
He will play, though, because he's replacing Corbin Carroll, who was probably going to be the everyday starter. I would imagine center field is going to be Buxton and Crow, PCA, going back and forth. So, yeah, Roman Anthony might get more at-bats here than I'm anticipating. Good for him. That's going to be really, really cool. Another guy who just, young guy, obviously he's a rookie in Series 1. All of our attention in the hobby is laser focused on him. So it's cool that there's a lot of guys that we have had a lot of attention paid to over the last few years who have either gotten major league time or we have yet to see, but we've been collecting, like Bazana, like Owen Casey. There's a really good mix of guys who are big time prospects, big time, or the next sort of guys that we've been collecting for a while in this year's tournament. So I can't wait, man. I'm super pumped for this tournament.
Heck yeah.
Yep. And I just look at DR's lineup. I feel like I'm because good Lord,
the AL All-Star team.
Yeah, exactly. They're in Pool D with Venezuela, Netherlands, Dominican Republic, Israel, and Nicaragua, which they should easily come out of that. Venezuela probably is your number 2 team in that, but Junior Caminero, Vlad Jr., Machado, Ketel Marte, Soto, J-Rod, jeez Louise. Albert Pujols, the manager too, by the way.
That's really cool.
Of that team. Very cool. Very, very cool.
And Yachty, Puerto Rico manager, I think.
I do believe so, yes.
And he could be a major league manager in the next handful of years.
It's kind of amazing it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
Like, I just keep waiting for the Cardinals to be like, what are we doing?
We were talking about him being a manager like a year before he retired.
It just felt like, what are we doing here? Like, when the Cardinals, again, Ollie Marmol's still the manager in St. Louis, I want to say.
Sure.
Look, they're in definite like rebuild mode right now. I get it, but like at a certain point, give the fans what they want in St. Louis and just make Yachty the manager already.
We can go on and on. How about Artie Moreno's comments a couple days ago?
I don't think I caught those.
He said that winning, in his opinion, winning is not in the fans' top 5 priorities. They prioritize safety, fan experience, which for me, my greatest experience is my team winning. Concessions, ease in and out of like the venue. That's what they focus, not winning. And then now, like Angels players and other players, like the MLBPA is on fire right now.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about bulletin board material when the CBA talks fire up this offseason. There, right there.
Check that out when we get off air here. Yeah, it's nuts.
Sheesh. Well, winning's important, and look at the WBC for something that these guys don't have to do. They don't have to get paid for all that. See how much it means. Case in point, how much this means to these guys. You talk to anybody from like Team Puerto Rico. I saw a video a few years ago where it was like talking to players from like Team DR, Team Puerto Rico, Team Japan, Team Korea, to all the international teams, and they were all like, "What's more important, World Series or this?" They all said, "This. Yeah, this is more important." So there you go. So get out of here, Artie. Artie wouldn't have said that when he was signing Josh Hamilton,
right?
And to ungodly amounts of money. Not that long ago.
He gave like Zach Cozart $60 million or something like
that. That's right. Anyway, so that's what happens when you give Anthony Rendon that contract. You're like, you know what? Maybe winning isn't everything. Maybe it's good to just maybe the quality of hot dog is really what fans want.
And they have a bad hot dog.
That place is just a big concrete block. Sorry, Angel Stadium kind of stinks. Anyway, yeah. So sorry, Angels fans. You've been through enough. That's going to do it for this week on Wax Packs and Warning Tracks. Let us know if you're watching us on YouTube. Let us know in the comments, guys, you're excited to watch in the WBC, which players that you might be investing in and collecting. Let us know in the comments. Plus, make sure to subscribe to us here on Mojobreak Media. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching and you want to hear us, just subscribe to the podcast. Search Mojobreak wherever you get podcasts. And you can find us there. You can find this. You can find the hype. We got more podcasts coming up soon. I think I can tease it now. We're going to have some basketball card podcasts coming up very soon.
Sweet.
Might even have some more football-focused stuff as we get closer to the draft. So we got a brand new studio. We got to take advantage of it. We got to make more podcasts. So that's what's going to be coming up very, very soon over the next coming months. It's going to be fun. So for Bubba, I'm Cody. We'll catch you guys next time here on Wax Packs and Warning Tracks.
See you guys.